Hello, everybody. My name is Max Farrow. This is DexTrader.com and the pro webinar at Trader webinar at Dex Trader. I'm sorry, I got some buzzing going on in my ears. I'm your host, Max Farrow, like I said, and tonight's webinar is going to be a little bit about what happened on Friday and what happened over the weekend, and of course, a little bit about us. If this is the first time you're here, welcome. If this is your second or third video you've been with us, or webinar you've been with us, then welcome. Or if you've been a long-term client with us, welcome as well. There is, in this world, there's a lot of things that are going on. And I know you're all very busy, so I'm not going to take a lot of your time tonight. But we hold these webinars for several different reasons. The first reason is to provide information. That's ultimately the biggest one. The second reason is because we can transfer that information into that knowledge that you need to be able to either trade better. I give little tidbits of information through this. We do a pre and post questions and answers. We also provide information and process during the webinar as well. And finally, it's about sales. It's about letting customers know, or potential customers, who we are, what we're doing, our sincerity, our transparency, and our want to be able to help people. Our motto with the company, our mission statement, if you will, is to help as many people as possible reach their idea of success. Now, we say their idea of success because all ideas of success are different. Just like there's many different types of chocolate in the world, there are many different types of traders. You all have a different thing you're fighting for. Some are fighting for recovering of money that you've lost or been scammed out of. So another reason why we hold these webinars is to show you behind the scenes what we have and what we do, so you can have a better feel of what we provide. With that said, let's get started. And just about anything, and any company that has worth their salt, they're going to provide you an earnings and risk disclaimer. In our case, we're the same way, but in a little bit different of a mentality. I hate these things. It's like, don't drink the Windex, right? You should know everything takes risk. Provide yourself some protection. What can protect you with that risk? And it's knowledge, education. Educate yourself. Learn, learn, learn. That's one of the biggest things that you can do to protect your money and your livelihood. For some of you that don't know me, my name is Max Farrow. I'm a senior trader here and one of the owners of Dex Signals, Dex Trader, Dex Indicators. We have several different sites, DexFXWorld.com. Our City Investments is the mother company of all of these systems. And it's owned by myself, Amy Kuipers, my wife, Erica Fowler, and my brother, Brian Farrow. Amy Kuipers is away in Bermuda at the moment. Go figure. She's a full-time teacher, and she works with me. It won't even say part-time. She puts in full-time hours too. And for the first time in a year, she's taken a vacation. It just happens to be this week, right before the end of summer, which is really cool. So we wish her the best. Everybody else that's within the company is all about helping people get to their idea of success. Now, for me personally, I've been trading full-time now. I've traded throughout my life in different cases, even in the very beginning when trading Forex was about taking a box of money into the bank. But I've been trading now full-time for 4 years. I've been working from home for 9 years. So when it comes to creating a business, creating a model, trying to find something, now not everything is work that I have tried, don't get me wrong. I'm not some guru, I'm not some perfect business person. I'm not going to stand on top of the box and tell you to do everything I do or you're going to fail. No, you're going to have to put your time in and make it work. That's what I've been doing for 9 years, trying to find something that will work. Now, with that said, there is a lot of stuff in this world that people want to bring you down on, right? How many of you in the room have found yourself when you're looking for something that you want to improve on? Let's just say, because most of you are here, well, all of you are here to earn money, right? That's a given. You're all here to earn money. You're all here to do a business, if you will. If it comes down to one thing, just one thing that we all have in common, it's to create a lifestyle. And that lifestyle is that maybe, what do some of you want in that room? You want financial independence, that's sort of what I kind of got into this for. What are some of the things that you folks want in the room? Could you name some things off in the chat room right there that you're looking to create for yourself with any concept or any system out there? What's your ultimate goal as far as not money-wise, but what's your intent with something like with what you're looking for, whether it be Dex or trading or what have you? Retire comfortably. That's a good, Keith, that's probably the long-term goal of every single person in the world, right? They want to be able to retire comfortably and know that they're safe. Buy a house. That's a good one too. I like that. Tangible products are okay motivators as well. These are things that you want to be able to secure your future, right, John? That's what you're looking to do. You need money for that, right? You need security for that. You need things that are going to be powerfully responsible and consistent for you, right? Timothy's that's another great one. Family is a great motivator too, but to have great security and future for your daughter. Well, I have kids as well. If you don't have kids, then providing security and future for yourself is a big one as well, right? But one thing I'm pretty sure that all of us have in that list of things, none of this would be possible without consistency. Is that a fair statement to say to everybody? That consistency is the one thing that can become dependent upon and make things work, right? With our consistency, I say this in every webinar, we can simply add volume to get to our goal, right? Memorize this algorithm for yourself. Memorize this equation, if you will, in your life, because this is what's going to change your life. This is what's going to get to the things that you say you want to get to. Without consistency, you can't apply volume to nothing. You're just throwing the ball in the air. Stop messing around. I seen somebody here just recently put into a journal. They started out okay. They were doing one trade. Then they put 2 contracts on, then 7, then 4, then 3, and then 50 contracts was in there, and then there was back down to 6, and there's no consistency here. It's not just about amount of contracts that you put on, but it's the amount that you're winning and you're doing. Phase 1 of anything that we do here at Dex is to learn, right? You have to get to a point of learning. If not, you will fail because you're just faking yourself at this point. You're just telling the world that, hey, I'm just looking for one thing, that you tell me everything I have to do and I'll just do it. Come on, we're not that kind of system. Just tell me to push the button and I'll push the button. No, that's not going to happen. You need to learn this, because consistency can only be brought into your business, into your world, with you doing it. Eventually, the signals are only an event that happen within your world. And the signal is a learning process. I'm here to give you the signals for as long as you shall need, and you might always use them as a tool, but eventually you'll learn through our system how to do them yourself through the process, right? How to see the support and resistance areas, how to see how the MACD works, those things. But you must learn it. Not just learn it, you must demo it, right? You must demo it, because if you don't, what's going to happen? You'll never find that consistency. This system is not about giving you perfection, because perfection can't be called 24/7. You have to be able to learn how to do the process, to be able to demo it, to learn what pairs work good for you, what pairs don't, what time of day works good for you. Again, what works good for you, David, may not work good for Eduardo or Gino or Brett. Your ideals are different on what you want. So are your times that you can trade. The next thing that is very important in your trading life is being able to trade. Again, I guess it comes down to consistency. Is in a format of your time. When are you going to be in front of the computer to be able to trade? Some of you all have lives. I call that external excuses, which is okay. It's not a bad thing. Your excuse for other things that you have to do. I have to work. I have to live. I have to play. Right? That's what we've come up with. These are the 3 things. Now, what level you involve yourself in at each one of these really depends on you. Right? How much are you working? How much are you living? How much are you playing? Now, living is things like going to the grocery store and taking care of the house and doing the chores and doing those kind of things. Working is a full-time job or something to that effect. And of course, play, we all know what that is. Let's be serious. Even if it's sitting on the couch with your hand in your pants eating bonbons, it don't matter. That's still part of it. But the thing is, when are you going to put in the time to make this work? And what are you going to do during that time? It's important to create yourself a modeled, sculpted out time period that you have nothing but this on your mind. If not, what will happen? Your consistency will break down. You can't rely on any other time. If you need to add other times in to make it work or shift stuff around, that's okay. But you have to create that time when you're trading to only do that. I hope this little bit of wisdom for you in the very beginning of this webinar provides you some sort of solace that we are a company that is really passionate about what we do. We're not a company that's about having a push button system or some set it and forget it kind of world that you can just follow a whole bunch of signals and it'll all do its work for you. We're not about cutting corners. We're not about taking shortcuts. We're not about throwing the ball in the air and hope for the best. We are about making the product of traders that want to be able to trade, do so at a full-time level, and make money. Now, at a full-time level doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be working 24/7. I work about 4 to 5 hours a day trading. Now, since Amy's been on vacation, I've had to cut this down to about 2 hours during the day at my little, what I refer to as my perfect time for me to trade. But for me, I love a particular type of thing during the day from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning, and that's my time. Okay, my signals that come out for the dailies for the morning, I love trading those. I take about 4 to 5 trades a day, and in most months, I can make between $6,000 and $8,000 a month. Why? Because during this time, I've become very consistent with a few pairs for me. And when I take those trades, when I take those processes, I do so with a lot of information. I'm able to do so in such a way that I add a bunch of volume to it, 10, sometimes 15 contracts. But I know and I'm positive of these areas and where they go and how they do. Now, I've tried calling these signals before. I've tried to do Max's signals and put people in a room and try to do that, but that environment changes. Why? Because I add a broadcast system, I add the pressure of trading for other people, and a whole bunch of other things. And I've noticed that when I do things like that, I suffer in trading as well. And the result's not good, because if I suffer at that point, so will all of you. So I feel more comfortable with training people on how to get them to that point rather than doing it for them. Because you won't learn anything by being just saying, do a buy, do a sell, do a buy. And plus, they wouldn't be $147 a month at that point. It'd be more like $1,400 a month. Now, with this concept of our company being the way we are, a few other things that our company is. It's one of those things where, and I'll skip past one slide here, and I'm gonna tell people we are a threat to this industry, but not in a way you may think. I'm not looking to take anybody's jobs or cut out competition or beat anybody over the head. But one thing I can't stand are the scammers out there, the people that have taken money because they provide either a service or a system, and they hold it like a badge of honor that they've gotten all these customers to come to them, and they've affiliatized themselves with big brokers, and you've seen them, right? They want to manage your money. They want to play on your insecurities. They want to do a whole bunch of things, right? How many of you been around a company that has come to them or that you've contacted, and they've played on things like, we can triple your money, we can get you secure, we could do all these things, right? Everybody should be saying yes in that room. Every single one of you that's either, if you're brand new to this industry and you just stumbled upon us and you've never traded before, you better put your hand up or on a stack of Bibles or something, because you just hit the jackpot. Okay? You've all been there before. I can tell you that for sure. You've seen this industry. You probably done some research. Maybe you looked at binaries or Nadex or strategies or 5 minutes, and you've probably seen us around in multiple different places. You've seen our YouTube channel, the thousands of videos that are up there, the 4 websites that we have. You've seen something. Now, here's the thing. Why are we a threat to an industry of scammers? Well, nobody really has the signals we do. And I can pretty much tell you absolute for that. And the reason being, and I'm going to show you here in a few moments what our signals look like if you haven't seen them already. And you may be a little bit confused about our signals, and don't worry, you'll get that all worked out. But the idea of what our signals are is that, and what we have found out a long time ago, was that we could just provide you with this, right? Euro USD, take this particular statement on Nadex, okay, call it a buy, and it expires at 11 p.m. We could just give you that. Now, what kind of information does this give you? It gives you the power, it tells you the asset. There might be date and time and all that other information in here, but I'm just for sake of not writing it all out. But you got the asset, you got the direction, you got the statement price, if you will, okay? And then you got the expiry time. This is a good signal, right? Can anybody look at this and tell me if this is a good signal? This might be a good signal. You just don't know. Well, if this was a real price, yeah, everything would look great. This would be direction for you. But how many times is this won? How many of you have dealt with other companies that give you a signal like this? I've dealt with probably 4 or 5. You go there, they pop off, they come out throughout the day, they tell you a signal, you get there, and it's all kind of crazy. I mean, you might be able to get in, you might not be able to get in, who knows, right? Even if you do, you don't know how consistent it is. You could probably follow some stuff on the chart, but you don't know the history of this pair. You don't know the history of the signal. Now, a signal is one thing. How well it's done in the same format, how much information do you have? Well, in the world of signals, if you will, the power of data is what is king. And it's that data that will that's right, Brett. It's that data that will save you. Brett Meyer says, I tried 6 companies, lost my ass off. I'm making money with Dex. And you know what? There are a lot just like you, Brett. There are a lot of people that have a constant search that they've been on to find the perfect company. We're not the perfect company. There's a perfect company would, I don't even know what perfect is, right? Because it just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in our world. It shouldn't exist in our world because it means you died and you're dreaming, right? You're either dead or you're dreaming. But in this world, what we have created for Dex is something very simple. We created data, and that's what's really important. Not just data on a single pair and, oh, it has a 50%. I get this, people ask, what's your signal success rate? Well, it's all over the place because there's the British gold pound success rate when it's a sell or when it's a buy. There is the data processing center that we have that has a ton of information. So it kind of tells you many, many different levels, from our intraday signals to our NA intraday, which stands for news avoidance, even our SR maxes. Now, it's that data that we have that separates us from the rest of the industry. Now, too much data, analysis paralysis, I get it. But the idea is that the signals that we have, nobody has. And not just the signals. I mean, you guys are going to hear my dog snoring in the background. I do apologize, but she's a big bulldog and she doesn't really breathe so well when she's sleeping. But the concept is that the data itself will become a tool for you. And you'll learn how to use all that stuff inside. And if you're not using that now and you're a customer with us, if you're an investor with us, then you're missing part of the tools on the table. Our signals are designed to do something. Remember when I said in the very beginning of the whiteboard side was that it was about learning, right? That your first step is to learn. And in this learning, one thing that you're going to do is that you're going to begin to take steps. And the step of learning in demo, okay, is to start taking the signals, right? Lean on the signals. Take the signals that you can, right? And see which ones are going to be winning, which ones are going to be losing for you, what time periods. In this process of demo, you're learning, right? This is not about rushing to your ROI. This is where a lot of people go wrong. In the very beginning of learning how to trade with our signals even, you have to demo. You're going to need about, I'd say 500, pen's kind of sticking, 500 to 1,000 trades on before you really get it. And I know that seems like a lot. And you're like, well, if I'm doing dailies and I'm only doing 4 a day, damn, that's going to take me a year. How much ROI am I going to have to put in? Well, you could do a lot of stuff with 5-minute trading. There's in Trader's Mind series, there's some things in there I teach you how to do 5-minute tradings with just the indicators. And they're all free indicators. The stochastic is a double stow, I call it. So you could do all that training. And we provide all training for free. So you could do all that stuff. There's no excuse there, right? But it's going to take you about this time, a month. If you're only doing like 1-hour trades or 2-hour trades, you might be able to cut this time down if you're really proficient in seeing patterns and seeing support and resistance and seeing how the MACD works and those kind of things. But you have to learn how to demo first. So take the signals, use them, but don't hold judgment. Remember, look at the patterns. When you're taking a demo trade and you have some tools that you're using, whether MetaTrader 4 on the onboard charts or the data charts that we have, start looking at the relationships between things. And not just 1 or 2, but 20 or 30. How many of you are customers or have ever kept a journal while trading? Has anybody ever kept a journal? And I'm not talking Dear Diary kind of stuff either. I'm talking a real journal, took a trade, won a trade, lost a trade. There's a whole bunch of things you can add in on that journal keeping. Which way was the MACD facing? Were all 3 lines facing up or were they all facing down? Was there a crossover? Were you using a stochastic? Was it coming out of the overbought or out of the oversold? This information is what? It's more data. And you don't want to drive yourself crazy. You know, the stochastic was sitting at a 35-degree angle at that, and there's too much data. Right? But you can start to apply some of this information by saying and filtering out things. Well, I noticed when I traded in this fashion over the last month, because I'm trading at 8 o'clock at night, I probably shouldn't trade the Audi USD, right? Because the past month that I've traded at 8 p.m., I haven't done so well with that. But I've done great with the Great Britain pound. So I'm going to stay with that. You understand? So there is amount of information of the successive signals, and then you apply you to it, and there's another success rate. So Timothy's success rate might be different than Brett's. Brett may have taken a different statement price on Nadex than Timothy did. But the concept's still the same. From your decision-making power of using the event, which is called the signals, which ones are you taking out of this branch? You know, if this was an actual branch, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's just say there was 10 trades and it was lost 3. That's 70% success rate. But how can Timothy and Brett both have 100 success rate? Well, if they took these trades. Or maybe they have 90% success rate because they took those, and these. And they didn't take any of this stuff in here. So they had 90% success rate. Or 80%. It can all be different for every single person here, but it's all about timing. That time for yourself. I can only teach you so much. You have to learn this time by what? By doing it. So you can automatically see that our signals are different. Secondly, our customer service is different. Our customer service is different because we have a couple of things that most companies don't have. A lot of companies have webinars, right? Everybody's got a webinar in a way. But the customer service that we have of having our chat room on the site, an internal chat room for other traders to talk to each other plainly, ask how things are going, look to see what's working for one person over another. We also have a contact process that you can work with us. So there's email, Skype, there's phone numbers. Yeah, phone number. You can actually call the people on the site. That's right. You can call me personally through the site itself. The phone number to the company is right in your membership webinar or in membership portal. Here, I'll show you. Most of you have called. It's right there. It's under our contact us page as well. And yes, I do pick up. It's between 9 in the morning and usually between 9 and 11 at night. If I'm available, I pick up. If I'm not available, I call back. Why do I do that? Why does anybody in our company answer the phone? Well, because we made an agreement with ourselves many, many moons ago, over 2 years ago when we were going to do this, is that we had to take personal responsibility for our site and for what we do. We're not just, oh yeah, let's go feed the masses. I made my money. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. How many of you have seen that? You see all these gurus fanning money out, and they're all telling you, oh, look how much money I made this month. I'm too good to even be here now, so I'm going to let you guys go do what you got to go do. Yeah. I swore that if I got into this industry, if I was going to do this, I was going to either myself or have somebody there with me who's going to be able to answer the questions to the levels of somebody who could trade. I once tried to contact a competitor. It's a competitor now, but back then I didn't even have the company. And I won't make a mention of name, but when I asked him, can you make this simpler for me? I mean, because I'm not an idiot either. You know, I mean, I got a master's of chemical management. I could be stupid, but I worked very hard. But you've made it it seems very complicated, and there's a lot of stuff on the chart. There's like 40 something indicators and directions, and the chart looked like a Christmas tree, right? And I said, could you make this easier for me? Is there some place that I can go just to study your method of strategy? And he told me plainly, no, because if we made it too easy, everybody would do it, and it'll kind of mess the market up. And I began to think that that's the most stupidest freaking answer I've ever heard anywhere. I can't make it easier for you because then everybody will want to do it. But this is why his system cost $1,200 a month. And I understood. I didn't have to agree with it, but I understood. There was times when I bought services that you could never get an answer from anybody. This is why our customer service is probably, and I'm biased, of course, but the best in the industry. If you have a problem, call, write, chat, do something. Now, we also have transparency on the network. Of course, I talked about the phone number already. And we also have consults. Our transparency is pretty evident, right? We talk about what we do. We tell people the truth. We give you what's up really happening in our industry and what we're doing. And we let you know the real history behind things. We don't just sugarcoat things. I'd rather give my system away for free than I would to charge for it, but we have to charge at times because we need the money to make the site and everything else to make it better. I make my money from trading, and that's what I need to do always. No matter what happens with Dex, no matter what happens in any educational systems, I want to make sure that my livelihood is dependent on my work that I do for trading, not off of your work, what you have done to pay for money for Dex. Okay? And I've proven that time and time again. But one of the other things that we have that sort of threaten this industry are the consults that we do. After you go through training, after you go through that process, I want to meet with you. I want to talk to you. I want to create relationship with you in a way, because we're looking for traders. We're looking for people to work with. We're looking for other people that can help with the sites and do things and be a part of the community and make things work. So if you're looking for those things, then this is the company for you. But everything that I just mentioned here is why we are a threat to this industry. Scammers. Why we're a threat to the industry. Competitors that view us a threat. I don't have time to worry about competition. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't even look at their stuff anymore. I hear sometimes, you know, this company does this and this company does that. Absolutely wonderful. But I don't really care. Not because I'm cold and I'm callous and I don't care what you think. It's just that that's their business. They they should do things just like I should be building on. And I should do things, which we do. And this is what leads me to this. Last Friday at 4 a.m. in the morning, a group of hackers, and I'm talking a group. I've been around. I've been dealing with security and internet security for a long time. And why I know it was a group and not just some kid sitting on his tandy is because we have 4 sites. Okay. And in these 4 sites, there's Dex Indicators, there's Dex Trader, there's Dex Signals, and there's Dex Effects World, right? I know these all sound the common theme, Dex, right? Now, each one of these has, of course, a page with signals on it, which is provided by 4 independent servers that all are signal servers. Well, these are signal delivery servers, right? Which house through another primary server, which go to another server from there. Now, these servers calculate all the data that comes from this main hub, okay? And this hub here. This is a security network. And this is the one that generates the signals. So generate the signals, secures the delivery system, puts it on these servers, and then takes it all here, right, to each one of the websites. Now, each one of these websites sits on its own server. Why did we do this? Well, exactly for this process. David, I'm sorry. Is everybody else not hearing me as well? Let me see here. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, David. We are recording this, so I'll make sure that you get a recording, or you can go to the YouTube channel and get that recording. Okay, so basically why I'm telling you this too is because you just need to know how the construct of our company is set. We're not just some, fly-by-nights, oh, they just got a single website process. And somebody's going to take it down. But the security is that, yeah, if you went here and killed this, it doesn't matter because I have 3 redundant servers that will take all that information and still be able to put it out to everybody, right? But if you kill this here, wouldn't have mattered either. There's another redundant server. Okay, so the hackers, if you will, or whatever they were, there's a process called DDoS, all right, denial of service kind of process, right? And what they do is that they attack a website with as many IPs or as many visitors as possible. It's all fake visitors, to kind of slow it down and do whatever. Well, all 4 main sites were attacked. Now, there's no way for you as the general public to know what the IP address is of these 3 or 4 sites or 4 servers. You can find the ID of each one of the networks by going to Dex Trader, Dex Indicators, Dex Signals, and Dex Effects World. But all 4 sites were attacked. And then all 4 subservers for signals were attacked. All at the same time, all at 4 a.m. Now, for this to happen with a single individual is, and I've talked to our security agencies and other things, is damn near impossible. So why would this happen? Well, our security agency, as well as myself, who also wrote some of the security softwares for our servers as well as for the systems, had finally found out that one of the main things was that this company, that it was a company, by the way, was attacking us, and they were coming after us because they got paid to do so. Now, I know this sounds really weird, really far-fetched, right? And why do I put it in a webinar? Well, because I wanted to let you all know, too, because these denial of services or these DDoS attacks are all about creating and disrupting and interrupting service, which it did. It did so for 4 hours, okay? But listen, there was no information that was taken from the network. There's never any payment information on the websites, right? All your payment goes through either PayPal or Stripe and through Pay Kickstart, which is completely safe. Right? All those things are external from any one of our systems. I knew that I would never want to take money from anybody through a payment system or any of that stuff within the site, because then all your payment information would be on the site. That's just a heyday for hackers to come after us. So the point is, everything was safe. But we fought these buggers from Friday morning to last night. And your site was still there. We had a little bit of disruption in the signals. There was a problem once I increased security even more. Some of my signals, see, that's how wide our system is that the signals were getting through, but they weren't showing a close on them. So the data wasn't inputting. There was some corrupt data when I went to go re-back up everything and put everything back in. And once we did, it only took a half an hour to get our entire network back up, but it took 4 hours to get to that point because we had to find a way to stop them from attacking us all the time, which we did. It wasn't fun because the best revenge, my friends, is living well. They say is in living well, which is true. So at this time, most people will be like, well, I better pull back some, they're really coming after me. This will be something that if we, let's just bow our head a little bit, and the answer is hell no. So what's to come? But here's about what's about to happen now. And Amy's away, so I can kind of do this. She'd usually punch me in the head and tell me to take a step and just take a deep breath. But listen, we're not going to do that. We have some services that we're going to provide, that we're going to be working on, right? There's not just a consult. I'm going to be creating a process within the network that, just like the webinar that you see here, but it's going to be a meeting. And there'll be people that, like yourselves, that are customers that can join that meeting, and we can discuss things such as better trading, how do I trade this better strategies, using the tools more. And you can do so not just on a one-to-one, because those take a lot of work, but instead of spending an hour with one individual, I can spend an hour with a very powerful group of, say, 5 to 10 people, just sort of like we have here right now. And imagine sitting in this room and hearing all these trading ideas and these processes that we can create and build together. The concept of trading the 5 minutes, using data from everybody, using the journals, building better consults for multiple people on board. We can discuss live trading rooms as well, where we can all sit down and we can pick a brain on longer term trades and put more contracts down, get something consistent in a live trading room. These member webinars and phone conferences that we'll have will be recorded, and we can use those for training in future segments. We're also going to discuss doing more series, and of course, there are new news processes coming. Things that I'll be doing every morning of telling you about what the market should look like for that day. Because I'd sit down and I'd do it for myself. I can hit a record button, I can type it out into a post on the site, and it can be delivered. I even have some friends from other companies and from news organizations that want to take this on as well. So we'll be providing some things from there. We'll be feeding in information from other companies as well, to better help you make judgments on the market as you get in, knowing if the Euro USD is going to be, really flip-floppy today, then you may not want to be trading at certain times other than just news. Okay, so I personally think that there is a lot of things to think about when it comes to our company, because you got to know what direction you want to go in, what kind of signals you want to use, all that stuff. But if you really truly are sincere about making a business for yourself, this isn't just a hobby. If it's a hobby for anybody here, I get that. But for most of you, you're here to make a business. And if that means providing you the things that you want to have, what you said in the beginning, the house and protecting for your family, making extra money, getting security for the future, those kind of things, then you got to put the work in. And that work's going to start. It has to start immediately. Too many ooh squirrel moments will shake your resolve with those things. Lastly, Is anybody here that's in the room that hasn't bought into the network yet? I see a lot of names that come back and listen to these webinars, and I really do appreciate it. Is there anybody in the room tonight that hasn't bought into the network that needs the code? Keith S., welcome, and thank you for being here tonight. David, yes, welcome. Sorry about the audio problems you had, but I'll make sure that you'll be able to see we'll put out a link to the webinar reoccurring. Okay. Well, for both of you, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day here to be here. There is a code here for your base signals, $50 off your first month. If you wanted to get into the all-inclusive, which is pretty powerful, there's some things. Does anybody need to see what the back office looks like? Would you like to see what the back office looks like, you two? Is there anybody else that wants to see what the back office looks like so you can get a feel? Anything there? Sure. Okay. Real quickly, the first thing you're all going to get, and most of it you see when you first sign up, is that there's a membership portal. And the membership portal is pretty powerful because it really does have a direction of where everything is at. If you can't find it with the membership portal, it doesn't exist yet, right? So there's the orientation and training, there's signals training, there's the series worth of training where you learn how to use Nadex, of course. A Trader's Mind series is about learning how to trade in 5-minute chunks using what we refer to as a double stochastic trading method. This teaches you how to get in and out of the market. The MBM or the MDM WB signals also do that, but they're more reliable than the method that I have you use in Trader's Mind. In Trader's Mind, I'm trying to teach you how to lose as well. And I know that sounds sarcastic, right? But you do need to know how to get past that loss because you're dealing with a trader's mind and that methodology that's in there. MetaTrader Mayhem, of course, teaches you all about the process with MetaTrader, and of course, Chart Chaser series, which is still on its way, and the Candlestick series, which is still on its way, has some information in it, but there's a lot to learn in that process. You can book a consult. You can go through all that solution in there. Everything's in here that it says it is, and then there's some. You can edit your profile. You can cancel your programs if you want to. All that point where you can book your consult. I suggest only booking a consult once you've gone through training, because all the answers are usually in there. Small little things that you might miss and overviews. I want to say for booking a consult when you started to do some trades, you got 30 or 40 trades in there, and you've got some stuff down, right? Under the training series, like we said, there's a lot of stuff. There's our new glossary as well that has some terms. If you see a term that's out there in the world and you don't know what it is, try coming here and look to see if you look it up before you hit Google. We might have an answer in there, and there's even going to be some Max videos on some of these as well that'll teach you some things in there as well. Your trading signals are in two parts. There's the Dex Trader 2.0. This was something we came up with a while ago. It's the entire product of the system. This is where the signals are. We have 4 major branch of signals. With a 5th coming soon, we're going to actually add 4x signals, not to this branch, but in a separate Dex Trader platform that we're going to offer within the network. But there is the dailies, which come out 6 times a day. They're off of the Nadex dailies. The intraday signals, which come out every hour but come right through news. The NA intraday, which avoids the news and come out. Each one of these systems have their own way of trading them. And the SR Maxes, which are a scalping system, a scalping trade process that's pretty powerful as well. Within this system, we have the data processing center that breaks down all 4 major systems on how well they do at particular times. What's the lifetime average over compared to the NA intradays, the SR Maxes? What's the best time? What's the best hour? The PIP average? All this information is very powerful. Even our signals delivery process has a filtering solution in here, which is very powerful as well, because you can filter all the way down to the Audi JPY on a buy or a sell, or just look at buys. You see? And you can see how many pips does it one buy. Do I need to choke up, or do I need to stay where I'm at? When it does win, how big does it win, or how fast does it get to losing? So, like in something like this is pretty powerful, right? Because it hasn't lost the last 10 times that it's played on a buy at this particular time period. So that's pretty powerful for you to know. Remember, drilling down your data. Okay. Under that, we have a 5-minute MDM WB series. The WB stands for web-based. which is a completely web-based generated 5-minute delivery signal system. That's right, this is set on a 5-minute system. And this charting platform is our own, right? And we use this charting platform. Now keep in mind, I heard somebody say earlier that this was lagging. It's not a lagging chart. It happens to change every minute, not every tick. And that's different. Why? Because this is not about scalping out in the middle of a trade. This is about following the direction of the signal, applying some education with the MACD and the support and resistance indicators that are embedded into this particular into this particular chart. There's no downloads, there's none of that in there, right? And it's good on all 7 pairs that are on the 5-minute Nadex platform. We also have a chat room and, of course, our journal system on the 5-minute MDM. Now, if you're not good at trading 5 minutes, then don't worry about getting into the MDM system, that 5-minute series over there. Or if you want to learn how to do them and help teach you how to trade on Nadex and get in and out really quickly, you can buy into that process and always up and downgrade your memberships if you need be. I learned a long time ago that if you ever need help with anything, just pick up the phone. That's all you got to do. Just pick up a phone. And if things aren't working out, or if you need help with certain things, all you have to do is pick up the phone and call the number on the website. If I'm available, I will pick up. If I'm not, I won't, but I'll call back. Because my interest in you is interest in Dex, is building this company to be bigger and better than anything else out there. Now, we have over 4,500 members in this network. We have a constant revolve of about 300 to 400 people in the system. And a lot of them, whether or not they're in chat room or they're moving through the process, a lot of them tend to gravitate away and just start making money. I know because they're constantly, everybody's paying. So I know out of the 200 or 300 people that are in here paying, that they're out there doing their thing and they're making money because they've learned a few things. They've learned how to draw back a little bit, only take a handful of trades a day, find the perfect time for you. Okay? All right. So at this time, I want to thank all of you and anybody who's gotten to this part of anybody who's watching after the fact. Thank you very much for getting through the video to be at this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to have a questions and answers phase right after this. That's part of being in the room and a treat for all of you if you guys have any questions, and I'll answer any questions that have been asked during the webinar. But I want to thank you for your time and your patience, and I hope to see you inside. If you decide that you want to join us, it's 50% off your first month with using Summer 17 base. That expires on I think the 31st, I think it is. Let me see here. Yep, on the 31st it expires. So make sure if you're going to use that, we'll have another code for you for something else later. But it's $50 off your first month. All right. I'm Max Farrow. This is Dex Trader. Everybody in the chat room right now, hang out, and I'll answer questions and answers on that part of the phase here for the webinar. Take care, everybody, and as always, trade well.